What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 48, and it's also the penultimate episode of Season 4 as well, as we have a chance to qualify for the Champions League with just 8 games to go in the Premier League. And you know, for our first season at the Emirates Stadium, you gotta ask the question, how have we done? You know, how have we done? Champions League football is on the horizon, and of course that was the main goal of our first season at the Emirates Stadium. Bring it back to North London and have those Tuesday, Wednesday night CL fixtures back at the Emirates Stadium. You know, you think about the money we spent, over £300 million on trying to, lay down the groundwork and reassemble this Arsenal team, rebuild this Arsenal team, bring back those academy stars. But of course, the early exits in the Carabao Cup are most noteworthy, the Premier League as well. On the back of the draw there against Wolves, 7 games to go, we're now 7 points clear of West Ham, and of course we do have the game in hand, the far superior goal difference record as well. As I mentioned before, we're not in a title race right now, so I'm not even going to bother pretending like we've got a chance of doing that. I would say, if we do end up finishing in 4th, if we do end up qualifying for the Champions League, I'd probably give this season a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I'm so frustrated at getting knocked out so early in the FA Cup for the first time in my career, getting dumped out by Everton at home. Obviously the Carabao Cup we were knocked out early by the Magpies, but we don't care about the Carabao Cup at all. But we've never even had any sort of chance of being in a title race. Other than the first 4 or 5 games when we were in second place after a red hot start, we've never even been close to the champions Manchester City. So I think you have to be really fair, not overly critical, but I think you have to be really fair when you consider the money we spent this season to be in 4th, well off the pace in terms of a title race. We weren't expecting to do that this season anyway, and going out of the FA Cup early as well. Yeah, 5, maybe if you're being kind, 6 out of 10. But it certainly hasn't been fireworks like I was possibly hoping we could do this season, being FA Cup winners and being in second place. That was the dream. Let's just say we've fallen far short of that. I mean, it's been quite frustrating indeed, especially knowing how early our FA Cup exit came, considering the fact I was hoping for a really good run in our first season at the Emirates Stadium. The most important thing, though, is we do indeed stay where we are right now, 4th place. Look, 3rd and 2nd, I'm not bothered. 4th, though, that is totally fine for me. And so, with the second game of today's episode and the first one of a busy month of April, West Ham away. The gap between us is 7 right now in the 4th versus 5th place clash. And of course, we do have the game in hand as well. So, win this, we would extend the gap back to double digits, and we'd still have the game in hand as well. So right from the first whistle, on the offensive, on the attack mode, looking for those early goals. Dubravka, the former Magpie goalkeeper, making a couple of great saves, but right before the break, well, you got to spend money to make money. You got to spend money to make the Champions League. Bukayo Saka, the big money signing we made on transfer deadline day in January, the most expensive signing in club history, gives us the only goal of the game in a 1-0 victory. So now 10 points to the gap. Yeah, we're almost there now. We're almost there. I wouldn't necessarily be stumbling over the line a little bit. We have obviously lost our unbeaten run. We slipped up earlier against Wolves, but for the most part, we're getting there. The goals have definitely dried up. That's been quite frustrating because we started the season off banging in 3 or 4 goals every other game. The goals have dried up a little bit, but again, the most important thing is we get there. However we get there, I don't mind. As long as we get Champions League football back next season, that'll do me just fine. So with the 3rd game of today's episode here, again, another great chance to extend the gap in the race for the top 4. Spurs, North London derby, first one at the Emirates Stadium in my career. Super excited for this one. The reverse fixture, of course, it finished 1-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Ben Godfrey scored his first goal for the club. So heading to this game, wanting my first win in a North London derby. We had the early chances in the first half. Right before the break, Reece Nelson with a chance to make it 2. Plays across to Luis Suarez, but what a save by Hugo Lloris there with his foot from close range. So still 0-0. Had looked a better team though, and if someone was going to break the deadlock, you'd think it would be us. So on the stroke of the hour mark, another golden chance to get ourselves in front. Luis Suarez plays a great through ball to Bukayo Saka. Could he get his second goal in 2? Running clear. Yes, he could. What a fantastic signing he's been on transfer deadline day. To sell Kulusevski to Manchester United for £105 million. It was, it was a big sale, it was a big fee, but an even bigger one spent on Saka, £118 million. plus that 25% sell-on clause, which, as we know, is basically redundant now. Saka's going nowhere. We're not going to make the same mistake again. He's staying here forever. But even so much money spent on Bukayo Saka, but he's certainly not let us down whatsoever. And I mentioned before in the last episode here, he is best in that inside forward role on the right-hand side. That's where he's profiting right now. He's been sublime. So yeah, 1-0 Arsenal. Saka's second goal into with 12 minutes to go. What a tackle by Mikel Merino. I don't ordinarily show you defensive highlights, but whilst he hasn't had exactly a seamless transition to playing centre-back in this team this season, every now and then he's provided a big block or something heroic like that. What a last-ditch tackle on Harry Kane. And at the other end, Bukayo Saka hitting the crossbar as he almost doubled his goal tally and extended our lead. But in the end, 1-0 was all we needed. We've had quite a lot of 1-0s lately, but you know what? Whilst they're not the high-scoring games we had at the start of the season, they still give you the same amount of points. That's free. That's a big win there. Saka's goal, he only won the game. And there it is, my first North London derby victory against Spurs. And what a time to get it as well. So for the fourth game of today's episode, Manchester City, the champions here on Wednesday night. Had to rotate a lot on my side for this game as well. We had a game on the weekend against Burnley at the Emirates as well. Much more winnable fixture, or so I thought, against the former side. So rotated a lot of players for the game, and this one's Man City continue their crusade to the Premier League title. They had looked a better team in the early stages, and 25 minutes in, as the fans are doing the Poznan in the away end. How do you stop Gabriel Jesus on FIFA, man? Seriously, he is becoming like the new Bruno Fernandes. I can't stop the Brazilian. Makes it 1-0. The visitors in front, and deservedly so as well. Had a chance to respond though, 32 minutes in. Gabriel Martinelli denied by a fabulous save by Brazilian compatriot Ederson, turning over the bar and behind for a corner, and that was how the game will finish. All the chances coming in the first half. Jesus' goal, the only one of the game. One of the final score, and despite the defeat there, as you can see, 4 games to go. We're now 12 points off Man City. I mean, we knew the title race was over anyway, so I don't even know why I kept on mentioning, but 9 points the gap now between us and Chelsea, and that would mean if we win this game here and Chelsea fail to match our result, we will qualify for the Champions League. And of course, fittingly, this game is against our former side, Burnley. So, taking on the Clarets here, our former team, looking to get the job done in a professional manner on the back of the defeat to Manchester City. So, early chances falling into the Gunners, as you would expect. 15 minutes in, good save by Peacock Farrell, as it was still 0-0. But basically, right from that, another golden chance. And Reece Nelson, absolutely glorious little assist there. Brings out Bailey, dummies with the fake shot, little Cruyff turn, if you will, and then rolls it across to Luis Suarez as the Colombian makes it 1-0. You know, he and Nelson this season have combined for over 30 goals to pair them. They've been both fantastic, and it's the Colombian who does give us the lead to make it 1-0 in the first half. So, Gunners in front. Burnley did have a chance in the second half. Leonard did really well there to smother his body at the feet and make the saves. It was still 1-0. But other than that, we were in complete control for the most part, and with 15 minutes to go, a chance to make it 2. And this guy recently has been justifying his £118 million price tag, and then some. Bukayo Saka with, I believe, goal number 6 since coming in on transfer deadline day in January, stepping in from the right as he likes to do and finesses it into the back of the net to give us the 2-goal lead. So 2-0 up on Burnley. It seemed like the points were secure, and with 10 minutes to go, a chance to make it 3. Reece Nelson turns on the afterburners, leaves our former right back Cedric in the dust, and he couldn't score at Turf Moor. He blazed a golden chance to score against his former team, but this time he gets it right, and you best believe he shows the respect as well. Yeah, spent 3 years with Burnley. We moulded him into the player he is right now at Turf Moor, but now he's back at the Emirates Stadium. He'd always have a soft spot for Burnley, you best believe that. They made him into the player he is, but now he's back at Arsenal and banging him in. So 3 in the final score, Nelson puts the icing on the cake, and that would do it. 3 games to go, as you can see by the league table. You know, obviously mathematically it's technically not over yet because Chelsea still have the game in hand. They still haven't played that game yet, and the gap is 12. But due to the goal difference swing, it's been, I have to always say this, like, mathematically, there is a technical possibility it could happen. If Chelsea win all their remaining 4 games and score enough goals, we lose our remaining 3 games and concede enough goals, we could possibly drop to 5th. But the chance of that happening is as high as me finding my soulmate and getting married by the time I'm 30. Look, give it up, Doxy boy. It's not going to happen, mate. So, yes, it's basically over. We know that technically there's a 0.1% chance. But again, the chance is very, very low. Hate to say it, but it's true. So yeah, heading into the final game of today's episode, Liverpool away at Anfield, taking on Jurgen Klopp's Reds here. And again, just a point is all we need now in our final 3 games to mathematically confirm it, even though we know it's basically done. And heading into the game, great save by Leno originally, but what a goal this was by Reece Nelson. Oh, I love playing with inside forwards on FIFA. Reece stepping in from the left, bends it out of the reach of Alisson into the top corner. That was absolutely sublime there from Nelson for his second goal in 2 to give us the lead in the first half. Liverpool in the second half though really woke up. I was struggling mightily in the first 15 minutes and just past the hour mark, a chance for them to get back on level terms, which they would do as well. I mentioned before, I love it when the AI do this. On Ultimate, it's like they penalise any little mistake you make. De La Cruz holds the ball up and waits for me to bring Leno out, then rolls it across to Mo Salah, who's free at the back stick, who has the open goal to aim at, and the Egyptian's not going to miss. Love it when that happens there. The AI just operating on maximum efficiency and intelligence. 1-1, Liverpool back on level terms, and then with 8 minutes to go, a chance for them to complete the turnaround, which they would do. Naby Keita rolls it through to the former Wolves man, Diogo Jota, who turns in from close range as Liverpool come from behind to win it in the second half by 2-1. So 2 on the final score. Despite the loss though, the post-match interviewer did say we've still qualified for the Champions League with 2 games to go, but as you'll see by the league table, again, technically, mathematically, it's not officially done, but yeah, it's basically done. 2 games to go, 9 points clear of Chelsea. You've got the game in hand, but again, just a goal difference swing right now. And again, 2 games to go. I'm pretty sure we should be able to pick up 1 point from our final 2 games. And that will do it. That will see us qualify for the Champions League. But that was this episode of Really CM, guys. If you found me watching, enjoyed it. If you hadn't, please drop a like. Myself to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the season finale of our first year at the Emirates Stadium as we wrap up Season 4, the final 2 Premier League games, very soon.